All right, so it's many moons later, but we bought another car. So I've since had it at my house, kept it in the garage, worked on it, did some things. Haven't filmed much. I have filmed some, and I might end up put that in this video. But let's go see the new vehicle. All right, so what I didn't mention is the new vehicle is at my grandma's right now. Basically it boils down to I don't have enough room for all these cars. So my grandma offered to share the back lot that she has. My hair is fucking wild right now. But she offered to share the back lot that she has and allow me to park a couple vehicles there because she knows I'm just gonna keep getting more, keep collecting them like Pokemon. So right now the first vehicle at her house is the one that I bought with my wife 2 months ago. Yeah, little girl in the back. I love this vehicle. It is one thing. It is a vehicle I owned previously. Go. And long story short, I basically got rid of this vehicle to buy my wife's wedding ring. It was a vehicle we built together that I just felt like there were more important things in life than owning it at the moment. Luckily, a couple years later, about 5 years later, the guy who I bought it or sold it to, I found in my archive messages because I was trying to find a set of wheels. I lost this set of wheels. I don't know if I sold them. I don't know if I put them at a house I moved out of. I don't know. But I was looking for this set of wheels to see if I sold them, and I found this message strand. And I texted and was like, hey, how's this vehicle doing? Is it still on the road? You know, I'd love to see if you've done any crazy builds on it or da. And he told me that it's basically the same. He fixed a lot of the leaks. He did a lot of things here or there. But for the most part, the vehicle has not changed one bit since I sold it to him. So obviously, I'm like, okay, well, I'm interested if you're willing to sell it. I'm interested if you're willing to sell it. So we get to talking, and it's one of those things where all hearsay. I wasn't really sure if it was going to happen at the time. My wife basically said that, you know, she wanted it back. We wanted it back, but we don't have the room. And that was one of the biggest things. At the moment, there was, you know, every single spot available at my house was full, and the garage was full of just junk. So in that time, between the moment we started talking and the point that we got to on purchasing the vehicle, I talked to him over and over and over every couple of weeks. He was busy out of town. Great guy, by the way, Kevin, if you're watching this, amazing guy, thank you. You know, he's out of town for business, and his son races in Ultra 4 kids racing, and you know, so he's busy man. So I said, you know what, just let me know whenever you're interested and available or what have you, and we'll just go from there. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it's okay. I don't need this vehicle, but it is very sentimental to me because I sold it for the wedding ring for my wife 5 years ago. So long story short, we bought the vehicle back, and it is just as good as I left it, basically. Did have a couple kinks and fixes, things, stuff that like that I had to adjust and take care of. One thing I'm gonna have to take care of is a freaking phone mount in my truck. I've done a couple little things here and there. Some of which I filmed, which I might put in this video. Some of which I didn't film, this and that. But it's back, vehicle number 5, second time owning it. I absolutely love it. The girl back there, she loves sitting in it. It was in the garage for the longest time, and she literally just would sit in it all the time. Want to go sit in it. I'll do a little spoiler alert. It is a Jeep, and she would always say, beep, let's go sit in the beep, you know. So it's I love this vehicle, this Jeep, and yeah, I'm gonna stop and get a Red Bull, and we will pick up at my grandma's house where the vehicle is chilling. All right, without further ado, my 1998 Jeep Cherokee. So I originally bought this in 2018. Bought it in 2018 from my brother. It was his first vehicle purchased. Bought it from him for $600. It was bone stock, 140,000 miles on it, relatively low mile for the year. But yeah, it's been a great Jeep. Obviously, it's been lifted, fenders have been cut. The rears are bad. The rears are very bad, and that's my fault. But she's a good little rig. Interior wise, she's pretty dang good. A little dirty. The seats are in good shape. I fixed this seat already, which you guys will see a video of that. But it's pretty clean. Nothing really bad. My brother gave me this little stereo. I don't have the keys, so I turn that on. Gives you Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, stuff like that. But pretty damn good for what it is. It is a good one. Now the front fenders are decent. The cut's a little jaggedy. If you can see, this tire's been replaced, but there's one tire that I had on here that was just getting chopped up by this. It's still pretty sharp, but front clearance is pretty good. It flexes pretty nicely. The rears, on the other hand, I banged that on the rock in 2018, and then I cut these fenders quick and dirty on the trail so I could flex, exposing the inner body. So the plan is to cut out all of that and throw a piece of 3/16 or something like that, 1/16, I don't know, I'll have to figure it out, but throw a piece in there, weld it all in place, and tub the rears. Maybe throw some corner armor, fix this. The other side is the same. Like I said, this happened on a trail. I pulled out a buddy's Sawzall and just went to freaking town so I could flex. But other than a couple trim pieces missing, I might just take all the trim off anyways. And like I said, I sold this in 2019. I sold this in like August of 2019 to buy my wife's wedding ring. And she loved this Jeep. I love this Jeep. It was always one of those things where we talked about we're gonna get another one. So we decided to get another one. We got a 2001 Destroyer Gray, completely rebuilt. Ended up being a complete and total piece of crap. I put a lot of work into it before we sold it because I wanted to get something else. My buddy bought it. He put a lot of work into it. Still needs a little bit more work done, but that Jeep was kind of it wasn't this, and that's why we got this back. So that's the Cherokee. And as far as problems, brakes need to be checked and done, really. AC doesn't work for some reason, probably needs a refresh. Drives great. Could use a long arm kit just because I am who I am, but it does pretty good. I drove it over here, like I said, because I don't have the room. It was parked in my garage for a long time, over the last 2 months since I started filming YouTube videos, and it just kind of sat there. I drove it every once in a while, but the entire front suspension was loose, which I didn't know until I drove it on Sunday last week. But entire front suspension was loose, and it felt like dog shit driving, so I just never drove it because I felt like I needed to do a complete suspension refresh. Checked it out. Turns out everything was just really, really loose. So I tightened everything up. It drives great. It does have a set of Battleborn bead locks on it that I bought for my JK back in 2018. Never ended up throwing them on my JK, just kept them on this. Got $40 35s on it. I literally picked up 4 of them for 40 bucks and never looked back. So it needs tires, because tires are pretty bad. Show you one of these tires is gnarred up. This one here, So I don't know if you can see, that's the body rubbing on the tire when it flexes. So needs that. And what else does it have or need? I think outside of that, it's just cosmetic stuff and creature comforts, stuff like that. Other than that, it's a pretty decent little rig. It's got a Rough Country 4.5-inch lift on it. It's got a Dr. Death Wobble fix in the front, along with a little 1-ton Y-Link steering. Like I said, the Battleborn beadlocks are 5-on-5, so it has full 5-on-4.5, two 5-on-5 1-inch adapters. That's really it. Everything else is the way you see it. So we'll get a video out of me driving this around, maybe wheeling this lightly, because it does need some little twerks. It sucks with no AC, especially when it's been 105 all week, but it's a pretty good little rig. So there she is. Welcome back to the family. Vehicle number 5 at the moment. And like I said, I'm keeping it over at my grandma's house because I just don't have the room. So eventually I think Ruby's gonna be parked behind her or in front of her, so I can take her out, because Ruby's not family friendly. But that's the other idea with this Jeep, is it's family friendly, so my daughter can ride in it and we can go to all the fun things, which, if everything works out, we will be taking this to Black Bear Pass in July. So fingers crossed everything works out and we can take this to Black Bear Pass. And if we do, you're gonna see this thing do some things. But with that being said, there it is. No more Jeep. We just got in it. Go get Gigi. Come on. Come on, let's go. You like the Jeep? Yeah. Is it your favorite Jeep? Yeah. Yeah.